Welcome back. It's Jennifer with Underway Drifting and Dreaming. Jim and I are on the motor vessel Cetus, and we are on the Great Loop. Our boat is a 48-foot Katie Krogan whaleback called motor vessel Cetus, and we have just arrived in the United States, Detour Village, Michigan, heading into Lake Huron. We need to clear customs. We used a mobile app from Custom and Border Patrol Protection's Roam application. We filled it out on the phone, and then Customs called us for a video chat. They just needed to see both of us and ask us a few questions. We were able to get off the boat, but while in Detour, German Island is on the other side. We get to see all types of boats. This is a Coast Guard's Aids to Navigation boat, and she was heading north. We also saw several cargo ships and the ferry that goes between Drummond Island and Detour. The next day we're heading off to Mackinaw Island. Mackinaw Island, you step back into time. There are no automobiles, so you're either riding in a carriage, by horse, riding a bike, or walking. And got very lucky to get a spot at the Michigan State Marina in Mackinaw Island. Coming into the Mackinaw Island harbor, right away you get a sense of this is not normal. Set in time, we see horses and carts, and ferries. Ferries are bringing so many tourists to the islands. The ferries run about every 15 minutes coming from St. Ignace, from Mackinaw City. There's even a pirate boat ferry. And with those ferries come wakes. So when we're tied up in the slip, it's rather bouncy. We put a few extra lines on, but they're still moving around a lot. I'm just very lucky that there was a cancellation, and we have a spot in this wonderful island marina. It is state ran. So we're going to go out for a bike ride, Jim and I, and it's 8 miles around the island. Right here, there's a group of Boy Scouts on the sailboat, and not sure if they're adventure Scouts, but they had the best time. We got to watch them leave the next day and sail the sailboat out. So we're only at mile 2. Maybe 3.
Bikes.
I like electric bikes. Happy anniversary.
Riding around Mackinac Island.
Mackinaw.
Mackinaw, spelt Mackinac.
Spelt Mackinac.
We did this 7 years ago.
Yeah, 2020.
And I had a 20-pound bag of potatoes on the back named Peter, so it's much easier. Same bicycle.
And the 2 other kids, they rode all 8 miles around. And I think our youngest was our oldest was 6.
I had to pull her around a little bit.
No, you didn't. And James just powered through. Our middle child had no problem. I think he had training wheels on.
He knew there was ice cream at the other end.
Well, it's the only reason you're doing this, right?
There's fudge up here.
There's fudge and there's ice cream. We did have the perfect slip. Up on the hill is the fort. They do shoot off cannons for reenactment, which scares the bejeebies out of you until you get used to it. And here's the venturing crew getting ready to head out to sail. We are going to head over to Mackinaw City. The ferries are just going to race by us and leave us in the dust. That's the first one, and here's a second one, and they're speeding on up. The Coast Guard cutter Mackinaw, which is now a museum, signals their horn once a day. We are heading into Strait Marina. Try saying that 3 times, calling them. That's a tongue twister for sure. So arriving into Mackinaw, it is set up for tourists, a lot of tourism. So shopping. There is not a shortage of fudge or candy, carameled apples, chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate creams, and the biggest thing in the resort town is ice cream. There are ice cream shops every few stores. And this is Mackatron. It is built with auto parts. Kind of looks like Bumblebee. So how often do you see a hot dog on the top of the restaurant? This is Wienerlicious. We did not eat here, but my husband kept wanting to go in and get a hot dog. My family was visiting. They came up and met us in Mackinaw City. And we started out about 6:15 in the morning. Of course, the guys are sleeping. And we do a 3-mile power walk. And we walk through downtown Mackinaw City, through the shops. Here, this is Shepler's Ferry. Let's check out the time. It's 10 to 6. So we hustle. My mom and sister are speedy walkers, and I am like lagging behind. You know, every day I'm walking between 4 to 6 miles, but Jim and I kind of mosey. I do go out and run, and I'm having the best time with my family while they're visiting. They took us over to Petoskey, Michigan, and to pick up our new Starlink. We had not had internet on the boat for 45 days, or reliable internet. And we're walking down to the Mackinac Bridge. It's very foggy this morning. So while they were visiting, we went out and we did Petoskey and Charlevoix stone hunting, which is a big thing in Michigan. You walk along the shore and find some stones. We go over to St. Ignace across the Mackinac Bridge and visit a double-decker ice cream bus and walk out to the lighthouse. While we were in Mackinaw City, they had a triathlon that I really wanted to sign up for. You would swim from Lake Huron over to Lake Michigan, and the bike ride and run. And I did not sign up because of the water temperature. I guess I'm a little sissy, but that would have been cool. Well, the Coast Guard cutter Mackinaw, this is the one that I remember when I was in the Coast Guard, is a museum now. They have a new cutter Mackinaw that's in Sheboygan, Michigan. And they were bringing in to retire the cutter to the city of Mackinaw, and the captain was on the bridge, and I think that was the lieutenant that she was bringing the vessel in, and they ran aground, and she looked at the captain. He said, "Back it up and bring it in full steam." And the engineer told us on our tour that there was mud and water flying because she'll never leave there again. And this is the best tour. I would suggest if you're in Mackinaw City or you're a Coast Guard fan to come up, get on this vessel. She is still beautiful. We sail out of Straits State Marina. Again, try to say that 3 times fast. And we are going to head to Beaver Island. But first, we need to go ahead and head under the Mackinaw Bridge. The Mackinaw Bridge, it is open for walking across. Usually, I believe it's Labor Day from like 8 until 12. And driving across, it's very inexpensive, and you drive up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Just a beautiful sight. There were construction crews working on the bridge, so we stayed to the left of the channel. We didn't want anything falling on top of us in case they dropped a hammer or some other type of tool. And we're traveling with 2 other commercial vessels underneath the bridge. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch our great loop adventures heading from Lake Huron over to Lake Michigan. We really appreciate you taking the moment, clicking like and subscribe. We will be making more videos as we continue on. We're right now about 2,800 miles into the adventure.